Court will come to order. It is Monday, June the 8th, 2026 at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the Commissioners' Court is now in session. If you would, please rise and join me in the prayer and the pledge, which will be led by Commissioner Harris.
Lord, let your will be done in this Commissioners' Court this morning so that this can be a meeting that is based upon your desires for us. Whatever that is you want to result from this Commissioners' Court, Lord, let it happen. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please be seated. Okay, first item of business. Everybody remembers what to do with these things? Turn them off or to vibrate so they don't interrupt the proceedings. The next part of our agenda that we traditionally do on regular Commissioners' Court meetings, which are the second and fourth Mondays of the month, is to have public input. And this is an opportunity for the public to tell the court things that you think we need to know. If it is an agenda item, we ask that you wait until that agenda item is called. That'll be a better time to have a discussion about that. But if it is not on the agenda, we ask that you go to the podium, limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and identify who you are and what precincts you live in. So is there any public input today? Okay, a little unusual, but okay, very much. We'll move on to Commissioners' comments. We'll start with Commissioner Precinct 1.
Yeah, Judge, I got a couple of quick things this morning. One of them is the UGRA went live. I'm sure they've got it out there, announced it, but that riverhub.ugr.org, if folks want to put that on their website to where they can check rainfall throughout the county. Also has the flood sirens or monitor levels on there to where you can see if the river's rising or not. Very helpful. Does away with a lot of questions you may have about the rainfall throughout the county, and you'll find that to be something that helps relieve a little tension whenever it's a lot of big thunderstorms going out there. But it's riverhub.ugra.org. The other announcement is we did a test on our sirens, the 6 that we have installed. That went magnificent. Shory Harmon, our emergency service coordinator, was able to conduct it himself to get familiar with all the equipment, and we are now in business when it comes to those flood sirens. And then burn ban's lifted as it has been for a little over a month now. And I want to talk briefly about the gravel on the river. There's been a lot of rumors around about the gravel operations on the river. It's nothing to be alerted about, nothing new. The state has got numerous locations where they're going in with their contractor and removing gravel, probably I think about 17 or so locations. Just trying to clean it up some from where people had to build roads across the river during the time of the flood. And it's something we really appreciate. It'll help in the restoration of the river. They'll try to be gentle as they can with the riparian portions of it, with all the work we put into it, but it's something that's necessary. So that's what I've got.
Very good.
Okay, well, burn ban's lifted in Precinct 2 as well.
Let's try to talk about things in Precinct 2 and not get into the agenda items, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Burn ban?
Burn ban's lifted. Just in case the public's not aware, I think we're getting some pretty good press on it and a lot on my County Commissioner Facebook page. But we did install the 20-foot memorial cross that was in Flat Rock Park on Saturday. That was donated by Michael Collins. We are trying to organize a ribbon cutting ceremony on the morning of the July 4th. That cross was fabricated and donated by Michael Collins of Mineral Wells, and he brought it in on Saturday. And I just want to thank K-Pub, J3, Bad Company, Excavation, and also Pro Rental of Comfort. Everything was donated, services, materials. Didn't cost the county or the taxpayers a dime, and it's a beautiful memorial testament to the lives lost on July 4th. A little bit more information on the gravel, just focused on Precinct 2 and in particular Crossing Street. There was a huge pile deposited just downstream of Crossing Street Bridge. And we do have a group that's actively removing that. They have all the necessary permits and owner's permissions, and even from Parks and Wildlife. This is Annie's Helping Hands in conjunction with JWR Welding and Construction. They're doing the removal, and they've been working with Tatum. So they're going a step further. They're actually screening this stuff and removing anything that, well, doesn't belong in gravel.
Right.
And so it can be checked out, and they can call Tatum if they find anything that might be of interest to them. And it was MPB that provided those screens and some trucks and services as well. I'm planning.
And just as a point of privilege on that is, Tatum's actually in charge of that whole thing. So just so that everybody knows. This whole gravel operation, which is kind of one of the last things on our checklist, is supervised by Tatum, and we certainly appreciate what everybody's doing in Precinct 2.
Okay. I'm planning to attend a county-to-county workshop in Bernie this Wednesday. It's hosted by Kendall County Commissioners Court, and the topics of interest that got my attention are best practices in groundwater management and responding to data centers. We're starting to hear concerns about data centers possibly coming to Kerr County, so I'm quite interested in hearing about that. I will be holding a town hall meeting this coming Monday, a week from today, June 15th at 6 p.m. at the Hosanna Lutheran Church on Camp Meeting Road. I'll get an agenda out later today on Facebook and to my email distribution, so lots of stuff to talk about there. And the last one I just want to mention is I congratulate the Republican Party for successfully completing a hand count of the ballots from their runoff election day runoff. In particular, credit goes to Sharon Agold and Richard Bonnert, Danny Holcomb, and Christine Pugh. So basically, they proved it can be done, and that using the ECHO technique is accurate, self-correcting, transparent, fun, and can be completed in a timely manner. They had 72 volunteers. They used people. That's how many showed up. They had trained 149. And of particular interest, they got 52 new people trained as Secretary of State election poll workers. That's always been very difficult to get enough people to volunteer to do that. And hand counting started at 3:32 p.m. and was complete by 8:39 p.m. So those that say it takes too long, well, they proved you wrong. And there were some delays in reporting the final results to our county clerk, largely as a result of severe weather and power outages at the Youth Event Center. But still, they had all the results reported by 11:06 p.m., which is actually sooner than was reported from the March 3rd primary. And of course, they didn't have any hand counting then. So again, appreciation and congratulations. Even the Secretary of State Elections Department person that was there to oversee elections was very complimentary about the way the hand count was conducted. So that's it.
Okay. Commissioner 3?
Yes, sir, thank you. About less than 1 inch of rain out in the east within the last few days. It's nice to have it kind of spread out. It looks like 2021 where, the grass is really growing well and things have been spread out. That's important, because that's a lot of fuel that's going to be there later when it dries out, just so you're aware. For those that are doing the right kind of controlled burns, we appreciate you. And our burn ban does remain lifted in Precinct 3. Screwworm is a big deal. So I'm asking all those folks that have cattle, please watch out for anything that looks weird. If you have any concerns, you can call our Texas Ag Life Extension agent and the rest of the folks that work down there, Sam Womble, or we're very lucky to have our own laboratory here that we did a grand opening on recently where a lot of us attended. So as we're watching that progress further north, it's important to stay very in tune with your cattle because this is a big deal. For those that are doing, branch removal, I got a call about that for coordination recently. I certainly appreciate that because we're still suffering the effects of the drought. Even though we have a lot of green grass, a lot of trees died, and we're seeing it a lot this summer. And those that are doing the clearing so branches don't fall on heads on vehicles, which did happen recently in my precinct. A guy got very lucky. So I thank y'all for that, are doing that safely, and are contacting folks that'll do that. We have a new fire chief. I'm gonna talk a little bit about fire stuff. In the east, as you know, Precinct 3 is shared by Centerpoint and Comfort for fire departments. And we've had a change in leadership in Comfort. And it's important to discuss that because we do give money to Comfort VFD. It's in the budget, equally shared amongst many of our departments. And the new Comfort Fire Chief is David Phillip. Adam Eichholz is still very involved as a captain now in that fire department. And he's now in one of the few paid positions, so he can be always there, always available, instead of splitting time with another paid department elsewhere. So we remain grateful for his continued commitment. It is the season to think about the future and where we're going to be on July 4th and how we're going to remember that event. I know that the working group has a whole different group where they're consolidating where and how to remember that by, and I don't want to step in front of that. I can just say that what it looks like is memorials going up, right? Either now or in the future. It looks like equipment capability growing to be prepared. That's sirens, and it's also a lot of boats. So if y'all saw boats in the water last weekend and you saw us in the water this weekend, that's preparing capability locally, which is very, very important, because water can outstrip your capability very quickly. And we saw that on the 4th of July. Depending on your boats, your people, your capability, we want to be prepared, not just for every summer or every rainfall event, but for the very, very long-term future. So I'm invested in that, part of the Swiftwater Rescue Group, and I think in the future what we would like to see, and I'll work with Shori on that, is a no-kidding large event where we prepare for it with everything we have on the river. And I would like to invite Tatum, which is why I'm publicly saying that now, to be a part of that exercise. They don't do that normally. But I think as we scale up, we need to practice that, not just being prepared for the actual event if it should happen. So my intent is to work with Shori on that in the future. And then lastly, if you want to buy raffle tickets for Centerpoint, I'm trying to get ahead of Rich Paces and outsell him. So I do have
Sue
him
me
available.
personally.
I did check with our council that I could talk about that, but just not a lot, so. Raffle tickets, see me afterwards. If you want to help out, do your part. Thank you.
Or me.
That's it.
It's a hard act to follow, Judge.
Well,
I want to mention that
go on.
the Divide VFD fundraiser is Friday the 19th. So get out there and support that group. They do incredible work out there. Criders is in full swing, starting already, and having good crowds and a lot of fun, a lot of happy faces. I haven't been able to get out there myself yet, but I've heard from many that have and thoroughly enjoyed it. Touch on something that was brought up about screw worms. You know, I'm probably one of the few in this room that's actually treated screw worms before, and it's a smell that you'll never forget. One thing we didn't have back there when I was having to treat them was ivermectin. And that's a pretty good preventative right now if you, any of your livestock, because all it takes is a speck of blood. I can remember we'd ear tag a calf one day and the next day we were treating with screw worms. And so try that preventative, be on your toes, be on the lookout, and hopefully it doesn't hit Kerr County. That's all.
Okay. A couple things countywide. I did have a talk with the company that wants to bring a battery lithium plant to Kerr County. I know they lobbied individually with the other commissioners, and I guess I was last on the list, which is probably appropriate. And the way I left it with them was, as long as they follow all of the state fire marshal regulations and more, we would like a little bit more than that, then we're prepared to be able to handle them here in the county if possible. So that was it. I'm not going to say a constructive meeting, but I think it was a very informative meeting that they know that we're expecting strict compliance with the state fire code, plus more. So with that, the second thing that I wanted to mention that is the emergency management department. I got a call on Saturday from NIM Kids number 2 about the screwworm, which is down in Zavala County, where it's been located in Texas right now. And that is of enormous importance. We can't emphasize that enough. And it's going to take cooperation from everybody to completely comply with whatever we're asked to do with regard to that disease. And then the other thing with regard to emergency management, a lot of people don't know that we have reorganized the emergency management department for the county. Heretofore, it was supervised by the county judge, which is me, but it was housed within the sheriff's office. And we have now moved that location here to the courthouse. There's an office down in the basement for our emergency management coordinator, which is Shory Harmon, who's doing a great job. He was one of the star pupils, I think, in the first class out of the Tatum Academy, so we're proud of that. And we do have a new county liaison officer, Bryce Brock. So when you hear these names, you'll know that what we're talking about is emergency management at the highest level in the state. So with that, there being no other commissioner comments, let's move on to the consideration agenda. And item number 1.1 is a District 10 4-H state roundup results with kids and Jennifer Smith.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Smith. I'm the Kerr County 4-H agent, and we do this 3 times a year, basically. We bring the kids in and recognize them for multiple things. This year, it was our pleasure last week to take youth to College Station to participate in the Texas 4-H State Roundup. And the State Roundup, for those that don't know, is more than just contests. There are workshops, there's community service, there's assemblies and dances, and a time for the kids to get to know other 4-H youth from across the state of Texas. And so some of the contests are qualifying contests, so you have to qualify to be there, and some are invitational. I am very proud of our kids. Our kids pretty much take on something every day. They can do 1 contest a day over 3 days, so they can do 3 contests. And we have some that do that. They do a contest every day. And to prepare for those contests takes a lot. And so we are very proud of our kids that go. So this year, Angela and I had the privilege of taking 17 youth to College Station, and they participated in 10 contests throughout the week. And so within those 10 contests, 5 resulted in a top 3 placing, and that's either by team or an individual, and it could be both. And that allows them, when they're top 3, they actually go on stage at the assembly. So they don't find out what placing they get until that night. And so they just know we're top 3, and then they go and they find out what they get at the assembly in front of everybody else. So it's an exciting moment, and it's one of those unique moments that not all youth in 4-H get to do. And so for them to do that is huge. And so we're very proud of them. So some of the contests that they participated in this year included range and pasture grass ID, in which they placed 3rd, I believe, so they were able to walk the stage. Range evaluation, wool judging. Wool judging placed 4th, in which they are now they're qualified for the national contest, so they will be competing nationally in September. Mohair judging were in the top 3. Livestock skillathon, the fashion contest, we had 2 young ladies that participated. They actually qualified at the district level, which allowed them to go to state, and they both ladies walked the stage in the top 3. We had educational presentation, veterinary medicine skillathon, robotics. Robotics also walked the stage that night. And then we had a couple kids participate in the healthy lifestyles contest. So the other thing, and Angela would like to come up and talk a little bit about it, they have a healthy Texas Youth Ambassador program, and during that time they have a summit. And we have some young ladies that are ambassadors for that program. And so Angela coordinates and helps them out and took them to the summit. And so when she comes up, she'll talk a little bit about that. But all in all, State Roundup is an exciting time. We learn a lot about the kids learn a lot about us. We learn that not all kids wake up in the morning, and sometimes they're a little late to contests. Sometimes they need 10 alarms to wake up. But all in all, these kids are great kids. These are the future of Kerr County. These are our leaders, and we are super proud of them. So I would like to invite Angela, and then we just have a few of them because they're leaders. They are all working and doing other things and super busy this summer, so we do have a few of them here with us today. But we do want to say congratulations to all those that are not here today. So here is Angela Fiddler, and she will continue.
So yes, I'm Angela Fiddler. Want to recognize my health ambassadors. I don't have any that could be here today because they've all got real jobs. So they missed all last week, so now they're working their real jobs. So we have 4 Texas health ambassadors, and they will give back at least 40 hours throughout the year in community service, leadership, education, promoting health in the community. So excited about that. And then I'm going to go ahead, one of our young ladies, Francie Lockwood, was able to place 3rd with her fashion interior design project. She did a buying project under $25. And so she was able to walk the stage. So I was really happy to present that, and her to be able to present that today to her. So, and then if we can have our kiddos come on back. Madeline.
Don't be bashful.
Hey, so I'm Madeline Hall, and I also competed in the fashion show in the Texas Natural Fibers category, and I placed 2nd and got to walk the stage. And me, my brother, and a friend of ours, Tyler, also competed in horse judging. We don't know how we did because we didn't place the top 10. And then me and my brother, Jonathan, also competed in educational presentation in the Ag and Natural Resources category. And then I also had 2 photos and photography make it to state.
And real
Congratulations.
quick, when Maddie is very humble, when she says she placed in natural fibers, she made a garment, complete, the entire garment. And it was beautiful. So she constructed it. So we have 2 different divisions. We have where they can do a buying project, or they can actually make it and construct it. And Madeline has perfected that. So if you're looking for a seamstress, think about her.
Howdy, my name is Jonathan Hall. I competed in a contest every day. I competed in robotics on Tuesday. Our team got 3rd place. We walked the stage, got a plaque. Then Wednesday, the adventure day, we went and competed that morning, and I believe we placed like 16th, so mid-crowd out of about 35 teams. Then Thursday, we competed in the Ag and Natural Resources category with me and my sister in educational presentation. Thank you.
I'm Grant. I competed in robotics, and I got 3rd place with Jonathan.
Congratulations. Okay, is this photo op?
It is.
Okay, bring them down. Jonathan, you stand in the center. We're used to this by now, right? Yeah.
Let's do it.
You get behind me.
Now, those of us back here, find a gap between heads, okay? And a round of applause. We are in good hands with our youth. Next item on the agenda is item 1.2, which is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept an annual financial report with included independent auditor's report and audited financial statement for the period ending September 30, 2025, as presented by the Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates PC. Ms. Fraser.
Good morning.
This may be our last time together.
Follow, so,
Yeah. Yes, it is.
hopefully I can keep you awake. My name is Deborah Fraser. I am the external audit, or prepared the external audit of Kerr County. We actually finished this audit in March, but we were waiting for the airport audit because the airport audit has to be included in this actual audit. So actually, if you turn to page 1, this is your independent auditor's report. You all received an unmodified opinion, which means that there were no modifications to the report. I want to point out that you had 3 journal entries. One of them was prepared by Tanya, and that, I just want to say how incredible that is. We rarely have a client that gets under 10 journal entries, so that really is something to be very excited and proud of. In our independent auditor's report this year, we did have an emphasis of matter report, and that's because the Kerr County actual audit that we include that, the Kerrville County Airport audit that we include in this report, and that's in note N. We also did have a GASB change this year, which is a Governmental Accounting Standards Board change, and that was 101. It requires you to include sick time in any of your compensated absences totals, which really doesn't affect you that much because you're on a PTO system. On page 16, this is the statement of net position. And there's 2 types of report that we actually give you. We give you a full accrual of report, and that includes your capital assets, which you don't see on the modified accrual report, which you budget. You see deferred and outflows, inflows, and a pension liability, which again, you only see current resources on your modified report. And then all debt. So this is all inclusive of everything you have in the county on an accrual basis. So your total assets were $180,211,000. Of that, you had $39.9 million in cash and investments that was unrestricted, and then you had restricted cash of $15.8 million. You had deferred outflows of resources. This is midway down the page. $4.8 million. This consists of your TCDRS prepaids, and so when we do your retirement system, that audit is prepared by another organization, and that organization prepares it for the entire state of Texas. So in your deferred outflows pension related, the bulk of that, $3.2 million, is retirement that you paid from January to September. So it's a prepaid, basically. If you go to the liabilities on the next page, 17, you had $55.9 million in total liabilities. 32.8 of that is due in greater than 1 year, and that's your outstanding debt, along with the 3.6 right above it. Your deferred inflows of resources, again, this has to do primarily with your Texas retirement system, and that's $3.4 million. And that leaves us with net position, net investment and capital assets. So that's all your capital assets minus your debt is $75 million. And then you have some restricted net position in several accounts. And then your unrestricted net position is $45.1 million. Now that's on the full accrual. Let's go back to your balance sheet and income statement. And this is how you budget. So on page 20, this is your assets, your total assets for all your special revenue funds, as well as your general fund, your road and bridge, and your capital projects funds. Your total assets for all your governmental funds were $64.4 million, Of that, again, 39, almost 40 million in unrestricted cash, and then the 15.8 million in restricted cash for your center point. The general fund itself had 29 million in unrestricted cash. If you turn to page 22, this is your liabilities and deferred inflows and fund balance. Again, you don't see any capital assets here. You don't see anything related to TCDRS unless it's current expenses. And then you don't see any debt. So your total liabilities are 15.1 million. And then your deferred inflows of resources, unavailable revenue, this consists of both unpaid property taxes for, the last 50 years, as well as unpaid fines. You have fund balances, total 45.9 million. I want to point out that 26.2 million of that is in the general fund, and it's completely unassigned, so that money moves forward to the next year. I'm going to have you flip all the way back to page 60, and I just want to point out that you do have a commitment and contingency note on page 59 due to the July 25th, or 4th, 25 flood event. And then on note N, on page 60, is your investment in the joint venture of the airport. I'm not going to go over those, but I just wanted to point them out. Page 63, this is your general fund, and it's on the modified cash accrual basis, again, the way you budget. And here we have the actual amounts and then the 2024 comparative amount. So your total revenues that you budgeted for were 42.7 million. You actually brought in almost 45 million, so you had a 2.3 million positive fund balance. And the two areas that you had more of a positive fund balance were in fees of office. You collected 1.3 million more than you budgeted. And then investment earnings, you actually collected 1.5 million more than you budgeted. Your current expenditures were $45,100,000 budgeted, and you spent $41,598,000. So you actually were underspent by $3.5 million. So your excess revenue this year was $3.4 million, and then you had issuance of short-term loans of $805,630, and then you transferred out money to capital projects as well as the road and bridge of $2.7 million. So your net change in fund balance, which is the third line from the bottom, $1.5 million increase. You actually budgeted for a $5.3 million decrease. Most of your flood expenditures, or a lot of your flood expenditures, had not been reimbursed by TDM and FEMA, but we accrued quite a bit of them. On page 64, this is your road and bridge fund. You had budgeted $3,352,000, and you actually brought in $3.5 million, so you were $165,000 to the positive. Your expenditures for infrastructure and environmental services were $5.2 million. Then you had some debt service for some leased vehicles. So your total expenditures were $5.3 million, although you budgeted $6 million. All in all, if you go down to the bottom, third line up, you had a negative $1 over what you brought in versus your expenditures. And so your increase went from, actually a decrease from $2,698,520 to $2,698,519. I would like you to turn over to page 67. This is your TCDRS information. So you don't see this on your financial statements. Again, this is audited by a third party hired by the state of Texas. But this is a very positive note. If you look at the last column, 2024, on page 67, the fourth line up from the bottom, you'll notice that you actually have a liability of 1.5 million. You are 98.5% funded in your pension account. That's very positive, and that's very, it's not common. I'm going to finish that book and go on to the letter. This was the communication with those charged with governance, and it was inside your cover of your report. So this was your responsibilities versus my responsibilities. Again, our planned scope and timing of the audit. Our scope went according to plan, but our timing was off 3 months because we were, again, waiting for that Kerr County Airport audit. We did comply with all ethical requirements regarding independence. If you turn the page on significant accounting policies, we did implement GASB 101, which was required by the Government Accounting Standards Board. You had significant estimates. They were useful lives of depreciation calculations on capital assets, your allowance for uncollectible receivables for fines and property tax, net and pension liability assumptions for mortality rates and investment rates, and then OPEB liabilities for retiree insurance. We do think specific notes that you probably want to look at are TCDRS and then your commitments. We had no unusual issues or journal entries, no misstatements. We did require representation from the treasurer, the county auditor, as well as the county judge. They basically signed over their firstborn child. And then public funds investment account, we have all compliance there. We had no significant findings or issues. We also did issue a compliance report on your federal and state awards, which was the smaller. Both of those were unmodified opinions, which again is the best opinion you can get. And if you were interested in that, I know a lot of people don't read these cover to cover, but page 9 tells you basically the summary of findings. Your financial statements, you had no material weakness, no significant deficiencies, no non-compliance material to the financial statements. The federal awards, again, you had no findings, no material weaknesses, you were in compliance, you received an unmodified report. We audited the FEMA July 25 flood expenses, and our dollar threshold was grants over $1 million, and you did qualify as a low-risk auditee. In your state awards on page 10, basically the same, no modification to the report, and you were a low-risk auditee. Page 12 and 13 give you a list of the grants and the expenditures, not the revenue, but the expenditures. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Well, as always, we welcome your report.
Very thorough, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anything else for,
I'll make a motion, we accept the annual fiscal financial report.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to accept the annual financial report of Armstrong, Vaughn and Associates PC as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay. Our last timed item before our morning break is item 1.3, which is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve a proclamation recognizing June as Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Ms. Centeno?
Me and Mr. Beard's here.
Oh.
Supervisor Rolando Ledman, the worker here in Kerr.
Anybody want to make a presentation to the court?
Yes,
If you may.
thank you, sir.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Your Honor and the Commissioners Court.
As you all know, we would like you all to consider June Elder Abuse Month in Kerrville. Abuse and financial exploitation of elder adults remains serious concerns both nationally and within the community. In 2025, here in Kerrville alone, it has 16,746 elder Texans 65 and older and 3,171 adults with disabilities, or you can say Kerrville, disabilities. In 2025, APS completed 262 investigations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation, and Kerr received 355 intake reports in 2025. We thank you guys for letting us come out here. You know, I know that a lot of times people get adult protective services misunderstood a little bit. They feel that we just want to put people in nursing homes, but we do a lot more than that. We like to help the elder community, and we encourage you all to call in cases. If you all don't have the number for APS, it is 1-800-252-5400, and that basically allows us to go in there and start the investigation. And Mr. Mark Beards here is one of the workers here in Kerrville, and they'll keep everything confidential. And if you're a reporter, that's usually the most things that we get is like concerns about being identified with the family. We don't identify you to the family. A lot of times, family does figure out who called in the report, but it's not because we tell them. And that's why we're here this morning, just to let you guys know that we appreciate you all, you know, allowing this proclamation, and just to continue supporting APS and what we try to do to assist the elder community and the substantially impaired that are eventually going to be all of us here in this room at one point or another, you know. But aside from that, that's really all I have to say, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir?
What is considered an elder? You said all of us in this room. I'm looking around. We're all wondering. Not it. Not it.
I didn't know how to phrase it, but I was
Yeah.
trying to speak to the obvious, saying that we're all going to get to
Is
65
there an
and
age?
older.
It's just 65?
65 and older is considered, yes, sir. I know none of you are there yet. You all look, you know, maybe 20 years old, I can say.
Thank you.
All right,
I move for approval.
I'll second.
We got a motion to second to approve June as the Elder Abuse Awareness Month as presented. Any discussion?
Just one thing. What's your name again?
Rolando Lerma, sir.
Okay,
I come from Eagle Pass.
very good.
Yes, sir.
And I can say as the probate judge, they practice in my court, they bring their claims, and they do a very thorough and complete job. Very much
Thanks.
appreciated.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous, thank you. June will be Elder Abuse Awareness Month.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 1.4, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding the Department of State Health Services Annual Public Health Report. Ms. Cavanagh.
Is there a packet one?
Okay, good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
That's your whole part in the next pieces.
What she's handing out to you is a physical copy of the annual health report, and inside is the specifics to Kerr County. I didn't have that in the email when I emailed it to you. And she's passing out some information about the screw
These are all
worm.
different.
That's all one.
Okay. Should be three.
So, I would like to start by saying it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Stacy Cabanis, and I serve as the public health nurse to Kerr County and Gillespie County. Our office is located 819 Water Street, Suite 290, and I work alongside Elizabeth Aguilera, community health specialist. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to present the 2025 Kerr County Public Health Report and share a brief update on our efforts to protect and improve the health of the community. Our regional leadership includes Dr. Ringsdorf, Regional Medical Director, and Gail Morrow, Deputy Regional Director, who provide oversight and guidance for our public health operations. Over the past year, we have continued to expand public health services and outreach efforts throughout Kerr County. We have strengthened vaccination programs, increased access to preventative services, and worked to ensure residents have access to timely health information, education, and community resources. These efforts help identify health concerns early and reduce the impact of preventable illnesses within our community. At the same time, we continue to face challenges. Many residents experience barriers to health care, including transportation difficulties, financial constraints, limited access to providers, and unique challenges that come with serving rural communities. We also recognize the importance of addressing emerging public health concerns, supporting vulnerable populations, and ensuring that essential services remain accessible throughout the county. Meeting these challenges require ongoing collaboration, innovation, and shared commitment to health and well-being of our community. Our team provides a broad range of essential public health services designed to protect, promote, and improve the health of our community. Some of these various include car seat safety programs, HIV and STD testing and education, vaccinations for uninsured and underinsured individuals, tuberculosis monitoring, and public health education on topics such as parenting, water safety, and injury prevention. While these are some of our most recognized services, they represent only a portion of work performed by our team each year. Behind the scenes, we support numerous public health initiatives, partnerships, response efforts, and community-based activities that help safeguard the health and well-being of Kerr County residents. Collaboration is a key part of our work. Our office works with 4 neighboring counties through the Breastfeeding Coalition and co-coordinates the Child Fatality Review Team. We also partner with local schools, healthcare providers, nonprofit organizations, emergency services, community groups, and other stakeholders throughout Kerr County. Through these collaborative efforts, we strengthen maternal and child health initiatives, support for prevention-focused programs, and help ensure residents have access to the resources and services they need. Looking at our 2025 data, Kerr County reported 9 foodborne illness cases, 124 new STD cases, 5 rabies positive cases, and 0 new tuberculosis cases. While these statistics provide a snapshot of community health, they represent just one part of our ongoing efforts to protect and promote the health and well-being of Kerr County residents. In addition to our routine public health responsibilities, our team played an active role in the emergency response to the Kerr County flood. During this event, we worked closely with local, regional, and state partners to support response and recovery efforts, provide public health guidance, deploy emergency vaccination clinics for both affected residents and for first responders, assess community needs, and help ensure the safety and well-being of all Kerrville residents. The success of these efforts would not have been possible without the support and coordination of the county leadership, emergency management personnel, first responders, volunteers, and community partners. This response reinforced the importance of preparedness, coordination, and strong community partnerships during times of crisis. You know, no matter how many times you practice in front of your mirror, it's always more nervous when you get up here. Moving forward, our focus is on expanding access to care, strengthening prevention efforts, and improving our data and response systems, and maintaining strong emergency preparedness so we are ready to respond to future public health needs. In addition to our local staff, Kerr County is supported by a broad network of public health professionals and specialized programs within our regional headquarters. These teams provide expertise, technical assistance, emergency preparedness resources, program support, and specialized services that strengthen our local efforts and help us serve the residents of Kerr County. We are fortunate to have representatives from several of these programs and departments here with us today, and I would like to invite them to briefly stand and introduce themselves.
Just up to the podium, let everybody have, yeah. Well, it's important because that's, the people at home, that's what they hear on YouTube. So to put a face with a name is important. So if y'all would, just go ahead and go to the podium, line up. It'd take just a second. Okay.
They were heading all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, we can make this quick. If you would,
Morning,
please.
Judge, Commissioners. My name is Gail Morrow, and I'm the Deputy Regional Director for Public Health Region 8. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you for coming.
My name is Catherine Velasquez. I'm the Program Manager for Community Health Improvement. So I oversee the public health nurses and community health specialists in each of our different field offices, including the Kerrville office. I'm proud to say that we have a second public health nurse who will be beginning and working with Stacy and Elizabeth the middle of the month. So we have 3 folks out there.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Robert Smith. I'm with the Analytics and Health Informatics team. Well, we perform most of the analysis and management of the public health data in the region and Kerr County. We also create most of the visualizations and handouts such as the one that you received today. In the future, we would like to send a survey out just to make sure that the visualizations we make really meet the needs that you need as decision makers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Anastasia Jones, and I'm the epidemiologist assigned to Kerr County. Our program follows up on reports of infectious diseases that spread between people. We interview patients and work with healthcare providers to learn where the infection could have come from and try to prevent it from spreading to others. We also track the number of infections identified in your county so we can understand what illnesses are affecting the community. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Gregoria Lopez. I'm a social worker, specialized health and social services. We have 2 units. The social service program helps the children with special health care needs families with complex systems of care to enhance their well-being and health. We also have the other unit, Texas Health Steps, provides assistance to medical and dental providers in areas of technical assistance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Alondra Cisneros, and I'm part with the TB program. So the tuberculosis program protects the community by offering TB testing, treatment, and case management services. Our team also provides education to local medical providers on TB screening and legal mandated report requirements.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Ibarra. I'm part of the immunization program, and the immunization program works with 3 Texas Vaccine for Children providers in Kerr County to ensure access to vaccines and program compliance. We also assess the immunization status of children in schools and child care audits to determine compliance with the Texas minimum state requirements. We also offer child and adult vaccines at the Kerrville Regional Field Office to those who qualify for the Texas Vaccine for Children program and also the Adult Safety Net program.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Aguilera, and I work alongside with Stacy at the Kerrville office. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hi, my name is Rachel Paniton. I am with the Zoonosis team, and we provide public health outreach and follow-up for diseases transmitted from animals and insects to humans, such as rabies and West Nile and screwworm. So, if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, well, do we have anybody else still? Everybody introduced? Okay. Want to welcome all of you here. The next item we need to have is a motion and a second to approve accepting their report.
Make a motion to approve the report, accept and approve.
Got a motion and a second to accept your report. And thank you for coming.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Probably more than anyone on the court, I deal with you the most as the county judge and mental health judge. And it's nice to put names and faces together. Now, I work with Dr. Ringsdorf on a regular basis, as you know, doing the mass gathering permits, as do various ones of the commissioners when it's your turn. You can work with Dr. Ringsdorf. But thank you very much for coming. Those in favor of the report, raise your hand. Unanimous?
I have one question, though.
Sure.
Okay. Stacy, help me where you've got vaccine preventable. This is just for the Kerr overview?
Yes, this is the
Less
Kerr.
than 5, what does that mean? I mean, is it 3?
Oh, less than
Or
5 preventable.
Why is it kind of questionable?
You know, I don't know why it's why it's less than 5. Why is it just a straight number?
This is reportable diseases that, I guess occurred in the county that didn't occur in the county, but less than 5, of vaccine preventable illnesses.
So if it's less than 5, we don't have to report it? Is it less, if it's less than 5, you don't have to report it? Is that it?
Less than 5 that were reported.
That were
That were
reported.
Yeah,
That are vaccine preventable.
I don't know.
I'm just kind of curious the actual number.
Yeah, I guess we will find that answer for you, and I'll
Thank
send
you.
it to you in an email.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank
Y'all
you.
all may be excused. Thank you.
Passing on
We're
1.5.
passing on 1.5. Move on to 1.6. Consider discussion, take appropriate action to approve copier contracts for animal control and county court at law. Mr. Tennis.
Morning, Court. Just formal ask for new printer copier services for the new animal control building, as well as a renewal, replacement for the county court at law. Their contract had expired, and they need a new device. So this is the formal ask. And this is basically step one of my larger consolidation effort.
Is this part of your consolidation?
Step
Yes.
one.
Step one.
One small step.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approving the copier contracts for animal control and county court at law with the IT department as presented. Any discussion?
Yes, Corey, if this is step one, have we seen a comparison from what we're doing now to what the grand theme of things?
Those numbers are still coming in. I just, in fact, actually late Friday got the initial current snapshot, if you will. Countywide, we're at $13,000 a month, which is $160,000 a year. Those contracts obviously are in various stages between
Sure.
different departments and stuff, so.
But that would be for a total of how many copiers?
I don't have that off the top of my head. 50, 60,
A bunch?
it's a bunch,
Yeah.
yeah.
Corey, I'm just curious. I get the animal control, new facility, needing a new copier and all. Why the county court of law right now instead of later when you bring everything to us?
They're out of contract.
Okay.
Court of law, so they need a new one, and we've.
She shared that with us when she made her budget presentation. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But in terms of, this is step one, we understand that. As we go through step 2 and 3, as you come in, what we really want to know is how much are we saving by doing all of this consolidation? So,
If we are.
if we are.
Right.
And
We
so,
won't see the immediate gains because we're kind of establishing and starting to consolidate. As we get into steps 5, 6, 7, whatever, then that's when we'll really start seeing that savings.
but as you come with these steps, you came with step 1, you come with the successor steps, 2 through 10 or whatever it is.
Right.
Just kind of keep us apprised of where we are with how well we're doing on these contracts.
Will do. That's
Okay.
easy enough.
Good enough. We've got a motion and a second. Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay. If you haven't been noticing, people have been drifting into the courtroom. We have an extensive presentation right after the break. This will be with our long-term recovery group. A lot of people don't know who you are, so when y'all come to the podium to make your presentations, be sure to identify who you are so people can start putting faces and names together with the people that are actually helping us with our recovery. So with that, let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back in 5 minutes after 10. Back to order. The next item on the agenda is item 1.7, update regarding the long-term recovery group and recommendation on legislative ask for the state of Texas General Assembly that starts in January. William Whitson. Identify who you are and
Yes, sir.
who you are.
Good morning, everyone. My name is William Whitson. I'm the senior consultant for the Kerr Together Long-Term Recovery Operation, and I have a bunch of my friends here because this effort is a collective effort. It is your recovery, and I am just honored to be a small part of it. I'm here today to talk about two main things. Number one is to update the commission and the community on the status of various projects that the long-term recovery operation is taking on. And the second thing is to begin a conversation about some additional resources that we may need from the state of Texas as we go forward in time with the long-term recovery. Now, some of you that know me know that I've been brought here to Kerr County because of my previous experience in other disasters and long-term recovery operations. And just stepping back and looking at it real quick, on July 4th, 2025, Kerr County and its neighbors were suddenly hit with a devastating blow by the power of Mother Nature. About 10, 11 months ago, not even 1 year. And I can tell you from my past experience that some communities may have folded under this intense and sudden disaster. But having worked here since August, I can tell you Kerr County is not like other places. It's not like other communities. You are strong, you have hardworking people, and you have rallied. And you have the kind of grit and determination that has made this recovery go faster and further than I've ever seen in other situations. So, congratulations. And I bring evidence of that by the way of the instances on other long-term recoveries that don't even get their true long-term recovery operation started for 4 to 6 months. My records say that you guys began your long-term recovery efforts within a week, maybe 2 weeks. So, again, my hat's off to you. I don't stand here today alone. The long-term recovery group is a collective effort. It is your recovery. And we have met with many, many partners, corporations, the Community Foundation, VOADS, the Volunteers After Disasters, other local governments, including this Commissioner's Court, volunteer fire departments, state agencies, federal agencies, universities, and even river authorities. We are here at this point in time, and I want to highlight, if you can go to the next slide, just a few accomplishments so far. These are just thoughts I threw together very quickly, and the list goes on. But let me just highlight very quickly for you that we've established the long-term recovery structure, and we've created a one-stop shop where it cuts down on the confusion of, okay, where do you go for information on what's really taking place on rebuilding the community and putting all the parts back together. We have about 12 working groups with over 200 local citizens, as well as county, city, state, all kinds of federal agencies sitting on them, trying to help us unpack the damage and what we need to do about it. One of the things that our recovery team has done is provide key leadership with the new flood warning system, and of course it's called River Hub, that announcement just made. Last year, think about it, you didn't have a flood warning system. And I have to tip my hat to the UGRA and all the leadership here at the county, the fact that you've got one. And it's not finished, we're building it, we're making it better, but that's a huge accomplishment that we've all collectively done together. We've also been active in our small business assistance programs across the county, and we've completed economic analysis with various universities, Texas A&M, Schreiner University. One of the key aspects that we had in the recovery plan that we are building and implementing at the same time is the healing of the river. And we've done this in 3 specific ways. We have the riparian area plantings, the stabilization of the banks through the grass seeds and so forth, the trees initiative from the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, and we also are working on an invasive species effort. We also have multiple initiatives for public education and outreach, including the new film, Hope for the Guadalupe. How many have seen it? It's on YouTube. It's very good. It's 26 minutes, and I would highly recommend it to you. We also have 2 dive teams that are active right now in the river. It's been funded by HEB, and they have, I'm pleased to announce, as of about a couple of weeks ago, they removed over 31,000 pounds of debris out of high contact areas, swimming holes and things like that from the river. So we're making a lot of headway there. We have actively supported the emotional and spiritual outreach initiatives, and I would encourage anyone involved in this recovery from the day one, if you need help, it's not a sign of weakness. Go get it. There are resources available, and it's important that you take care of yourself. We've organized and supported tourism outreach and advertisement activities, as evidenced by the new My Guadalupe Valley program. We've supported assistance in organizing unmet needs in coordination with multiple partners. And one thing I left off that I wanted to kind of emphasize a little bit was the new Youth Resilience Corps that we're going to be starting up with a grant from Rebuild Texas for $35,000. So, needless to say, we've had a really strong start. And the recovery to date is moving along. And I would like to say thank you to this Commissioner's Court, to the other local governments, and to all the volunteers that have been involved. You've had a strong start. But anybody that knows me knows that I'm kind of a football guy, right? So I think we're at about halftime. And we need to begin thinking about what does the 3rd and 4th quarter look like, so that we can begin to zero in on what kind of resources are necessary to finish the recovery. So I want you to think about this question. What resources will it take for our recovery going forward? That's the question. I thank the state of Texas. They have stepped up, but there is more that needs to be done because we're at halftime and we're moving on. Next slide. So in thinking about that, I began conversations with the local Chamber of Commerce. Many of my friends are here from that committee, and I really appreciate what they have done. And we have kind of categorized the resources that we're going to need going forward into 4 buckets or 4 groups. Number 1 is to continue the outstanding effort that's begun on the flood warning system. That's our number 1 priority. That's the thing that we need the most help with, and I'll go into the details of why. We would like to see learning out of this emergency by building new emergency response capacity, more capability to respond, God forbid, in the next disaster, be it a wildfire or be it a flood. And mitigation of environmental impacts, and of course any other policy improvements that we need to make. Next slide. Well, what is a flood warning system? Well, for you it's a little different because it's complicated. You have many valleys and remote areas along the Guadalupe in this region. And the data necessary to predict a flash flood, it's hidden out there in the streams and valleys. And so you have to bring that information together. And we have been blessed and fortunate to be able to land a middle mile grant that is going to electronically move data from those remote areas into our predictive system. And we'll go into more details later on if you'd like. Next slide. So let me just characterize this by the money that's been received and is needed. There's been 3 main sources of funding to get us where we are right now. The first source, of course, was the Texas Broadband Middle Mile Grant for $14.7 million. That was a coalition that was built through long-term recovery and supported by UGRA and all of our other partners. It was very successful. That begins to build the backbone or the electronic highway you need to move data from the remote areas into the predictive system. Then the Texas Water Development Board granted the county $1.25 million. We initiated an interlocal agreement with UGRA, who is putting everything together. And then, of course, there's the outstanding efforts of the Upper Guadalupe River Authority by kicking in funds out of their reserves. We would not be here, and be this far down the road had it not been for their leadership and courage to step up and do that. So that leaves us, by my calculations, around $13–14 million short. And let me tell you why. If you take the actual guidance document of the state of Texas, where they said, okay, the 2-mile radius for sound, buildings and populations, and you apply the formula strictly, it looks like we, according to their calculations, are going to need about 134 sirens. And I'm skipping ahead on the next page. But again, all of these things were done, and there was no allocation in the bills to initiate the siren process and the siren systems for maintenance. So skipping ahead to the next slide, I'll get into that. SB 3, particularly the cost of sirens, did not consider the maintenance. And in our opinion, a layering approach is the best approach. If you apply this guidance, we need a total of 134 sirens along the Guadalupe in Kerr County. That is crazy. That would be a lot in terms of its duplication, its maintenance, and all kinds of other issues. So again, thank you to the state of Texas for thinking about this. It was an important step. However, now we need the engineers and people way smarter than me to drill into the details and figure out what is the right number. We are estimating, and again, it's an estimate, somewhere between 20 and 30 sirens is the total need along the river. And again, I'll leave it up to the engineers to explain why they think that, but that's where we are right now. If you run the numbers out at about $300,000 a siren, and we were to build the other 126 sirens, we'd be over $40 million in capital costs, and then your maintenance cost is about 10% of that number. So that drives the cost up way above that. Next slide. So here's where we estimate we are if you're looking at the range of 20 to 30 sirens, somewhere around north of $29 million. Now, we've been very blessed and fortunate right now that we're at about 54%, a little more than halfway of the figure needed to build a system with that number of sirens. And the fund shortage right now is about $13.5 million. And again, this is a combination of what we've received, what's in the pipeline, and of course the reserves that UGRA has sent forth and put on the table. And again, I would be the first one to tell you that I think it'd be good for the state to reimburse them, because they took the leadership and they took the risk and they stepped forward and did the lifting that needed to be done when it needed to be done. Otherwise, we wouldn't have siren system in place for this camping season. Next slide.
William?
Yes,
back
sir.
on that slide.
Yes, sir.
Can you go? Yeah. The Texas Middle Mile Grant.
Yes.
Strictly speaking, that wasn't for the flood warning system, right? That was
It
the
wasn't, but
communications.
we figured a way to make it work
Right.
in our system. And that's why I said our system's a little different, a little more complicated because of the geography and the land that it lays in. We adapted it.
Okay.
What does that say? I'm not a Marine, but it's adapt and overcome. Okay.
Improvise.
Improvise and overcome.
Adapt.
Well, we improvised and now we're
Close.
overcoming. Okay, next slide. If you break that down a little further, right now we're at around 2.4 million, counting all of the sirens installed, the engineering, the planning, the education. Again, back to this guidance document where, you know, you can debate the actual number that you need. If you look at 22 more, you're looking at 6.6 million. And then, of course, there's more rain and river gauges needed above and beyond that. We also would like to see the state of Texas road system tied into our effort. So we threw in some funds that would interconnect that. And then, of course, we need more engineering and public education. And I need to emphasize public education because I'm from Florida. And if you would have sent a flood warning signal and I was in a campground, I would have gotten out on the highway and I'd been one of the casualties you found on the side of the road. Because get out means different than get up, and I wouldn't know that. So I think there's a big education challenge here. My understanding is you have a little more than 1 million people a year coming and going in and out of this county for the camps and enjoying your recreational assets and so forth. So you need to think about that as well as your local population. And again, this does not count your operations and maintenance as they go forward. Next slide. Building emergency response and capacity. This is also something we think is incredibly important to the long-term recovery. We'd like to see that happen in 2 projects kind of would be the top ones we would recommend. First is you've heard of the Texas Institute for Hazard, Risk, and Readiness at Schreiner University. We've been talking with them quite a bit, and I understand Dr. McCormick and his team is all on board with this, and we'll be writing letters of support for the resources they need to really get that institute kick-started. The EOC, our understanding from the last disaster is it needs improvement. There are a lot of facility conversions that need to be made. There's a modernization of the incident command system, and there's a great need for improved technology and upgraded software. So those are those costs that are estimated there. Next slide. Mitigation of environmental impacts. This is one of the very important procedures we'd like to see come out of the long-term recovery. Your environment is your economy. And you cannot just assume that the way that the river changed is the way it needs to be. We would like to see a detailed environmental analysis done, and if there are any dredging or sediment management programs that need to be done, they need to be done in balance with the environment. And we've estimated that that study and that eventual execution of the plan would cost around $25 million. Addressing the habitat loss, we've already made a start on this, but again, if some of the private sector monies and foundation monies aren't realized or received, this is the estimated cost of what that factor in the recovery would be. Finally, next slide, policy improvements. Right now, the camping industry is in 220 counties out of the 254 counties in Texas, which is a little more than 86%. We think that that's quite an impact. There was a lot of legislation passed and a lot of things that were required to be done in a very short period. And there are lasting ripple impacts to those decisions, and we would like for that to be addressed through public and private partnerships as we work together on getting everything back to the way it would need to be. We also think that the flood warning system, again, a policy change, this one doesn't cost anything. Hey, there's a free one. I think the deadlines are too tight. They need to be extended beyond 2027, in our opinion. And we need additional public education to be supported and the technological integration between technical platforms of measurement and prediction. We need to also see if there are dollars available on a public-private partnership to maybe emphasize the additional cell phone coverage that is needed. It's interesting, the dichotomy here, people come here to be remote, great. But that also has a cost, and we saw what some of that cost was on July 4th of last year. So, and then, of course, the investments that needed to be made to make that happen. So let me go to the next slide. What does that look like? That would be basically, in Senate Bill 3, there was funds allocated to Rice University, Texas Tech, and University of Texas, Arlington to do engineering studies and more Doppler coverage. The Doppler radar systems right now are in the large metropolitan areas. There are gaps in coverage, so that basically, back this idea of layering, you know, God bless the National Weather Service. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. But when you're looking at a forecast for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 or more counties, it's hard to be precise. We need more precision because of the time that a flash flood takes. I mean, it's on you before you know it. So more precise information would be helpful. There was funding allocated to these universities to do some of this work, but I've talked to Rice University and the others, and they said, yes, they could use more, especially given the situation. The public access to communications, what it would look like if we had funding to incentivize, like a carrot, the private sector to come in and take the middle mile grant and add your additional communication features on it to increase your cell phone coverage. That wouldn't cause visual pollution, it wouldn't cause any kind of other issues, but it would increase safety, and it might be helpful as we go forward. It's the cost, the capital cost of burying fiber or putting up towers or whatever those costs may be to have that increased cell phone coverage that is the barrier. Let's incentivize that with the backbone we built, and maybe we can get some companies to step forward on that. And then, of course, the impact to the camps and the other small businesses. This is very important that we begin to take a look at the economic costs that happened after the flood. We are going to be following up with an additional study with Texas A&M University to get more precise numbers, and we know from talking with a lot of the small businesses, many of them are not back up on their feet yet. So there's a need for a stabilization fund. Next slide. Okay, I know that on one set of slides it had 97.9 million. That's the total. When you add up the cost of the flood warning system, it's, you know, a little over 29 million. But if you look at what we've received so far, this is the delta. With, if you add up all of those categories and all the projects within there, we're looking at a shortage or a need to express to the legislature of about 84.4 million. Again, that covers your flood warning system, building your emergency capacity, mitigating environmental impacts, and of course, policy improvements. Next slide. So where does that leave us right now? Where do you start a journey? At the beginning. We're at halftime. We're heading into the third and fourth quarter. We thank the state of Texas. We thank this body. We thank so many who have poured their heart and soul into this recovery. But we're only halfway there. We need more resources to begin closing the gaps, and there are some things that, I'm sorry, the state of Texas or larger governments need to step up and do to fill these gaps. That is support for the impacted communities, strengthen resilience across Kerr County, and the lessons we've learned here can be transferred to other places in Texas and other places in the nation as well. We are building a model for statewide disaster response, which is witnessed in the legacy that's going to be left at Schreiner University and other organizations in this area, and we need legislative support for additional changes as we go forward. And that is kind of a 10,000-foot view of where we are and where we recommend we might want to look in the future.
Okay. Before you turn it over to questions, you have brought a number of the members of your long-term recovery group here.
Yes, sir.
I think it is important for the public to see the faces and know the names of these people and the amount of dedication that they have devoted to rebuilding this community.
It's been unprecedented. Todd, Alyssa,
Todd Bach,
Yep.
okay.
Alyssa's chair,
Last
Kelly.
name?
Alyssa's back here. Amber.
Okay.
Okay. There's just so many names I can't.
Sure.
Tara. Kelly. There are hundreds of people on these committees, and it has been our honor to try and work together with them and analyze all of this data and information and put the pieces together. And I thank them for their efforts, and I ask them to all stand up.
If you would, please stand.
Jeremy. Jeremy's on the river working group. Wayne.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Just a comment. Before y'all came in, I was discussing what I think we need to do. First of all, I love the fact that I see gates and sirens. I've been on that since day one. If you've listened to me, so glad that's a part of it. That's what we're missing, as well as so many other things in your presentation. But how do we exercise interoperability? Does Kerrville and Kerr County play well together? Better. Do all the fire departments play well together? Well,
We're working on that.
we're working on that.
There is a working group, sir, that is actually working on all the protocols and has been meeting, Tara, how many months? Over 6 months.
We've got the attorney and I have the draft on it.
Yeah.
I'm just not afraid to call it out, that we need, if we're gonna be Kerr together, we need to all exercise together. Sirens, systems, people, Texas, county, and local. So I am proposing with our former TDM, now Kerr Emergency Manager, for an actual interoperability exercise. It can't be on July. There's just no way. We
Yeah.
need to think about loss in the future. But what you're doing is awesome. But I'm a big believer, it does not matter unless you actually exercise together. And we just don't do that, right? And we got called out by our TDM director about our local capability. I don't know if you know that, but we did, with local departments and capability, about we need more training and we should be doing things together. Okay, I'm calling you back. And I'll be talking with Wes Friedel over this today about in the future, come on down, Tatum. Come on back. Winter time. So I don't have a date. I'm not gonna put a date. That would be really premature to do that. But we do need a interoperability exercise. It might be a little cold on the water, but we need to do that. So where it all actually functions. So just a marker out there. And I think the public needs that vote of confidence. That's all.
We agree. We have the infrastructure and the committee systems in place to make that happen.
Any other questions? Well, one of the big questions that I get out in the community is, you're talking about a huge ask of the state. Well, we have a huge state, and we're blessed, and we'll see how we come out with that. But Kerrville has also been founded on private philanthropy, and there has been enormous private philanthropy as a result of this flood. And I think most of that is at least managed by the Community Foundation. Where are we in terms of interfacing with the Community Foundation to have some of the largesse, the gifts that were given to us to help us recover from this flood, trickle down to the people that need it in what you're doing? You're doing the long-term recovery group work right here. So how do we get that money from private and public sources to help us?
Well, we talk with them a lot.
I know you do.
And in fact, John Reed and I exchanged emails and phone calls over the Friday afternoon. And so it's just one step at a time, sir. It depends on the projects that are needed, that have been identified by our committee systems, which are made up of a lot of the leading citizens in the community. So if there are people that are being left out or have needs, they need to email or contact our office. And we are always having these conversations. And Todd, I don't know if you have anything further to add.
Todd, you want to add something?
Todd Bach, Kerr EDC. Judge, to that, the Community Foundation has worked with Kerr Together since the beginning, structuring up their programs that they have. As the Kerr Together committees identify program needs, we then go to the Community Foundation underneath their pillars of support and submit applications for those resources that they currently have to help fund those projects that we have put together. Several of those projects on that first slide that you saw up there were all funded through the Community Foundation, the My Guadalupe and so forth.
And I know that because I'm the county judge and because y'all come tell me, okay? And that's important. But the public needs to know what we're doing here. And the first thing that I want to emphasize is we have a massive undertaking underway with the Long-Term Recovery Group. And this is all hands on deck. And Kerr County is responding, and we're well ahead of the curve, as I understand it. We're grateful to be at halftime, not even a year out, okay? But to do that, we've got to have resources. And y'all are out there looking for them for us. We've already gotten a bunch from the state. We're asking for more. I know that Senator Flores is very active in all of this, and we're asking for his help. We're also asking for the private help over here. People just want to know that it's going on. They don't need to know the details, I don't think, right now, as to the Community Foundation has released this amount of money for this project. As that news comes out, it's certainly newsworthy, and we want to get it to the public. But they need to know that we, as a county, as a group, not county, city, citizens of Kerr County, are working together to get these funds to accomplish everything that you just outlined for us, and it is within our reach.
Yes, sir.
We're not coming back strong, we're coming back stronger. And they need to hear that from you, the boots on the ground.
Yes, sir. And we thank you for all the support of the court, and it's been just wonderful having the whole community offer their services and to go out and help us get additional funds beyond the Community Foundation. One Star Foundation, Rebuild have been just amazing reaching out to us and supplying us with funds for even operations. For our one-stop shop at 98 Coronado. It's been a blessing to have a lot of the independent banking associations across Texas. So the help has been there. Judge, we obviously need more. There's more of it to complete the job, but are very blessed to have our community as engaged as they are.
And then the other thing I would like for y'all to be aware of, to address, is this interoperability. Most of y'all know that I went to the University of Texas, and we have a rivalry with Texas A&M, in case you didn't know that. And when I went into the Army, the only other person in my platoon from Texas was an Aggie. And we became famous friends after about a week of grumping, okay? What people need to know about Kerr County is, yes, we do have our own territories, we do have our own rivalries, but when it comes to this flood, we're looking to your leadership to help us mend those rivalries and fences so that Aggies are working next to Longhorns, okay? And we're all in this together. And the fire department and our volunteer fire departments are all working together. And the city and the county government are working together. Because that's what it takes for us to recover from this flood. And your leadership is greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Big team.
I haven't found an area yet where the city and the county didn't work well together on this. We're in meetings together almost 2 or 3 days a week, right?
Yes.
And we work very well together.
And we overcome it.
Stronger.
Yeah.
We're all Kerr County residents.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presentation and information. And for people that want to know what's really going on, don't call us, because if you call us, we have to call them. That's where the information is. Go ahead and call them. They're available.
William, thank you for all the work. And Todd.
Yep, all of y'all.
And
Or their
whole crew,
website.
the whole crew.
Very good website on the updates. I perused it last week. Thank y'all for keeping it current.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Let me
thank you.
ask one more question while you're back there, Todd.
Yes, sir.
How much money does the foundation currently have still that they haven't given out?
I don't know the answer to that. That would be a foundation question.
Okay.
I know they give their updates out on their unmet needs and expenditures and what they've given to the different pillars within that they've budgeted, but I don't know where the balance sits today.
Yeah.
Well, we probably need to ask them to come give us a
I
report,
think
too.
we do. I think I get a lot of questions from people about how much money was raised, how much money has been given out, and how much money is left. And the main criticism is a lot of people think that not enough has been given out. And so I would love to hear the issues and, how that's going and what the next steps are.
And I would say that the number one misconception is that the court controls the money. The city council controls the money. We do not. Not even the long-term recovery group controls the money.
That's correct.
We're still asking for money from the community foundation and the state.
Yes. It takes multiple funding streams, Judge, to.
We know that. The
Yep.
public needs to know that.
Right, and I'll
Yeah,
just
good
emphasize that.
clarification.
We're
Thank you.
we're looking at somewhere between 265 to, I don't know, 270, 80 million total all-in cost for recovery. So even if the community foundation gave every penny, some people say 150 million, whatever, we're still short. Okay, so we have a long way to go to finish the game. We're about at halftime, and we're going to keep working. We're going to keep our head down, and we're going to work together. And I really thank you for your message about one team, one jersey, because that's what it's going to take. Multiple funding sources to solve these problems.
And we want to thank you, coaches. And what we're telling you is, put us in, coach, put us in. Okay. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 1.8. Consider, discuss, take appropriate action regarding an amending plat for Laurel Canyon Estates, lots 1 and 2. Mr. Gore. Go ahead and let them get out. Thank you. Thank you all for coming in.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This is a fairly simple plat. This proposed amending plat adjusts the lot line between lots 2 and 3. It also incorporates a small adjacent unplatted tract. There will be no new lots created. Lot 1R will be now 7.07 acres, and Lot 2R will be 3.0 acres. Both lots will continue to be accessed from a private portion of Aspen Way. The County Engineer's Office requests the court consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding an amending plat for Laurel Canyon Estates, lots 1 and 2, plat file number 17-07893. This is in precinct 4.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the amendment of plat for Laurel Canyon Estates as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Gore. Okay. I think we're getting ready to begin the Veteran Services Show. I think of the next 5 agenda items. Let's start with item 1.9, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept donations received in support of the Veterans Benefits Fair to be held on September 3, 2026. In-kind donations from Mamacitas, Vecinos, Elk Store, Wash Tub, RBFCU, Mosty Brothers Nursery, Ms. Sanchez.
Good morning. I have a little bit of a change because we did get some donations late last week. So Mamacitas donated 2 gift certificates in the total value of $45.98. Vecinos gift card $50. Mosty Bros Nursery gave cash donation of $50. Elk Store $50 gift card. The Wash Tub gave 2 gift certificates in the total value of $186. Debbie's Melon Patch donated retail goods for a total value of $225. Then Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union will be doing snacks and drinks.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the donations as presented for the Veterans Benefits Fair upcoming in September of this year. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Item 1.10, consider, discuss, take appropriate action to accept donations received for the annual Memorial Day event. This is a different event. From Scooter's Coffee provided coffee and lemonade, and HCTC donated 400 bottles of water in support of the event. Ms. Sanchez.
Apologize for doing this after the fact. We got it a couple of days before the event, but HCTC donated 400 bottles of water for the event, which was very nice because it was hot. And Scooter's Coffee came across, did a little tent, and they also provided coffee and lemonade.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Item 1.11, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept donations received in support of the Table Card Game, or TCG, tournament to be held June 20, 2026. Contributions include donated items for a total value of $2,037.44 and an anonymous monetary donation in the amount of $1,000. Total value of all donations received is $3,037.44. Ms. Sanchez.
Again, a small update because we received more donations on Friday. Dragon's Lair donated $1,858.05 with in-kind donation. Goblin's Den donated $695 in in-kind donations. Dragon Shield, $192.01 in in-kind donation. Level Up, $159.67 with in-kind donation. Also with our anonymous cash donation of $1,000, which totals $3,904.73.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the,
I've got what is Dragon's Lair?
So I'm gonna do
I'm
my
sorry,
best to.
somebody's gotta ask.
I'm about to explain. I'm gonna try my best, sir, because I do not play this. There are these card games called Magic the Gathering, which is different types you can play, and then Pokemon. And what we're trying, there's a lot of younger veterans who play these, and we're trying to pull out these younger veterans, and we're trying to not bore them with what we do, but to show who we are and to bring us together with the community and just show our support.
But
So
is
these are
Dragon's-
all.
Is Dragon's Lair the name of their group or
It-
something?
That is the store in San Antonio. So
Oh.
Dragon's Lair, Goblin's Den are in San Antonio. Dragon Shield is, I guess, it's in Denmark, so I don't know how to describe it. It's like a main thing.
Nope.
Sorry, sir, I'm more of a spades, dominoes kind of girl, so I can't really explain it, but I know it's very popular.
Okay.
And so we are, and then Level Up is local. We also will be having some from Heart of Cards. I just don't know it yet because they're, and then Made, which is from Kerrville. They'll be part of it. I just don't have that information for you as of yet.
but all of these are donations for this table card game
Yes, sir.
tournament that's going to be held in June.
Yes, sir.
That's
Any
it.
other discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Okay, let's go on to item number 1.12. Consider, discuss, take appropriate action to establish a subcommittee to assist with the planning, development, and implementation of improvements and additions to the Kerr County War Memorial. The following individuals have been contacted and have agreed to serve on the subcommittee. Approval is requested for the appointment of Michael Oates, Gary Noller, Vicki Marsh, Mike Piericini. Did I get it right? Yes. Now I lost my place. Mark Del Toro, Jeff Harris, and Commissioner Holt.
So I have a lot of big ideas for our war memorial, but our main concern is, I don't know if you notice, our benches are missing some of the emblems, plus we're missing Space Force. It's a very big project, so it would be hard for Chase and myself to take that on. So I've contacted some of our local veterans and asked them if they don't mind being part of a subcommittee, so they can reach out and kind of do some of the legwork, and then we'll come back and request approval for any updates or any additions that we can make to our war memorial. It'll be in phases, I'm sure, because I have a lot of ideas.
I'll move for approval. I'll second.
Got a motion and a second? One thing I would make everyone aware of is that the Capital Improvement Planning Committee that worked for over 3 years on the bond issue that failed had a major project with regard to the War Memorial that you may want to get with those people and at least
Yes,
confer
sir.
with them. They did a lot of work on that in presenting that as a bond issue.
Yes, sir.
Any
That's
other
it for me.
discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a 10:30 timed item, and I appreciate your patience in waiting for us, Gary, but we finished all the other items now. This item 1.13, which is the VSO Quarterly Report will be presented by Gary Noller, President of the VSO Advisory Committee.
Thank you. I'm Gary Noller, 140 Ray Drive, Centerpoint, Precinct 3. It's good that Jenna went first because she covered a lot of items I was going to cover, so I can shorten up. We did meet with her last week, all the members of the Veterans Service Advisory Committee, and went over a whole bunch of stuff. Most of it was briefing on Memorial Day, and I certainly want to extend thanks to everybody that made that possible, the Commissioners Court, and other staff. Shane Evans with his people did a lot of setup, a lot of preparation on the facilities out there. We had IT involved, the Sheriff's Office was there, Public Information Office, and all of that's important to help make that day a success, and I appreciate that. Jen also sent out to us a report, kind of a scorecard of the accomplishments. This is dated starting January 1 to May 31st of this year, so it's a 5-month report. And I just want to hit a couple of highlights here on some of the money issues. For this 5 months, and this is disability benefits to veterans, spouses, a monthly increase of $125,000. So that is equivalent to $1.5 million a year, plus $420,000 in retroactive payments. So that comes out to about $2 million. If the next 7 months go like for the first 5 months go, the impact on tax-free income to veterans and their families living in Kerr County through the Kerr County Veteran Service Officer can be about $5 million. In that time, I had 160 new clients come in and process 1,500 claims with the VA. And a veteran can have more than one claim. If you got a problem with your right foot, that's the one claim. If you got a problem with your left foot, that's 2 claims. That's the way the VA works. So it's kind of a very quickly what's getting accomplished here. The other thing I want to just touch on briefly here is on this report is the discussion of cooperating with the Alamo Area Council of Governments. They come to Kerrville a couple of times now, and they get these HEB cards. They drive all the way out here from San Antonio. This last time was $150. And to be eligible, you had to live in Kerr County or Kendall County. It's, again, a kind of flood response issue. But you just have to be 60 years old or older. There's really not any kind of means test. You don't have to tell a lot of paper, but basically what you do is you have to walk up there and show them 2 things. That you got a Kerr County or Kendall County address and that you're over 60 years of age, and they'll give you the card. And I'd just like to tell one story about what impact that could have. I'm a driver for Kerr Connect, and one of my clients is a veteran who lives at Freedom's Path Apartments, and he just got in there recently. And that is income tested. That's low-income veterans. He's about a year older than me, so he always refers to me as young man, so I really like him well since he refers to me as young man. But he got one of those $150 gift cards, and he said, I don't know what I did to deserve this. He's a very humble man. He appreciated it, and he took it, but he was kind of really set back in a way that somebody would think of him and help ensure that. And I know Jenna worked with ACOG to make sure that when they came to Kerr County, that one of the things that they did was to see what they could do to help the residents and veterans that live out at Freedom's Path. I take him about once a week to the grocery store. That $150 is like a month's worth of food for him. And I don't know if he's eating any better or not, but I know that he certainly appreciated that. And so Jenna, the big things that happened through the Veterans County Service Officer, and then some little things, but it all adds up to where the veterans can have a little better life. And we certainly appreciate the Commissioners Court for supporting the Veterans Service Office, and for Jenna and Chase for the job that they're doing. Thank you.
Gary, I want to tell you thank you for your testimony at Memorial Day. I really enjoyed that.
Well, you're welcome.
Excellent job.
You're welcome.
All right, I move for approval.
Is this to accept the report?
Accept the report, yeah.
We just accept the report.
Yeah.
We got a
Second.
motion and a second?
Sure. I'll second.
To accept the report as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Gary. Next item on the agenda is 1.14, which is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding the implementation of the burn ban. This may be one of our favorable requests.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second? Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Item 1.15, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to address the possibility of prohibiting or restricting the sale or use of restricted fireworks such as skyrockets with sticks or missiles with fins in any portion of the unincorporated area of Kerr County pursuant to the government code provisions that are cited.
Judge, we can pass on this. The Keach Barn Index would not support any restrictions.
That's the good news.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So with that, we'll pass. We'll move on to item 1.16, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to accept Emergency Services District Number 3 Annual Financial Report.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve ESD Number 3, and that's what, Hunt?
Hunt, yes.
Annual Financial Report is presented.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah, that's center point.
Yeah, center point.
Center Point's 3?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So we're talking about Center Point's, okay.
That is.
Got it. Very good. So let me call for the vote again. Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous, thank you. Next item is item 1.17, consider, discuss, take appropriate action on the renewal of TAC HEBP, that's the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Insurance. Ms. Zapata. This is what we talked about at the workshop on Friday.
Yeah, and she's not here today, that Ilda was having a
I'll pass for now.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back to that. Moving on to 1.18, consider, discuss, and take
Well, here
appropriate.
she is.
There you go.
Good timing.
This is what we talked in the workshop on Friday, so you can start mid-thought.
Yes. I'm just presenting our TAC renewal. And last we talked, it was between keeping the renewal as is, which is a copay of $1,500, and a employee copay of $30, or moving it up to a deductible of $2,000 for employees and a copay of $35.
And that was with the county paying the increase in the premium for Kerr County employees.
Yes.
And to clarify it, it was, our copay right now is $30 for each visit. It would go up to $35. And currently, our total copay is limited at $1,500, and that would go up to $2,000.
And also with retiree payment of increasing from $282 to $350
And that's, the retiree payments would increase to what the active employees pay.
Mhm.
Same thing.
for dependents.
Those were the 3 points that we talked about at the workshop on Friday, and you presenting that to us. I will go ahead and make a motion that we accept the recommendations as presented. So we can get a discussion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion?
Just clarifying which one are you recommending?
What they just laid out, it'd be an increase to our employees.
So, okay. I didn't bring the paperwork.
And so the 13, what's the increase? 13 point what?
Just 13.
13% increase in healthcare payments for county employees. What we would do here with these changes is be able to implement those changes so that we can continue to pay for the Kerr County employees' premium payments would be 100% paid by the county.
Well, I don't like seeing any increase at all on the county. but especially our employees. That's the one thing I've kind of hung my hat on since I've set up here, that our benefits are going to be first rate. And, you know, maybe we're a little lacking in pay sometimes, but the benefits are substantial, and that's an attraction that draws people to Kerr County. One of our sales tools, recruiting people. I know the sheriff and I have talked about it a bunch. It's a big deal to his people out there, as well as Road and Bridge and everybody else in this courthouse. So that's my 2 cents.
I think our benefits will still be first rate, first class. I don't think you're gonna find anybody in the area that can compete with what that option 1 is when it comes to the rates for our employees and benefits.
It's still an increase.
It is an increase.
It is an increase.
No question. I'm not denying that.
But it-
Copay would be an additional $5 when you go to the doctor. And if you are somebody, very few people are, but if you are somebody that's hospitalized, it's goes from $1,500 to $2,000. I understand that increase. But I also understand that you're talking about almost $600,000.
Well,
Well, it's about 3, I think.
No,
let's-
it's
Can I
not.
explain the 2 courses of action so everyone understands? Course of action A and course of action B. Course of action A is where the county eats up the burden, keeps the premiums at $1,500 and $25 copay. That is the, sorry, $30 copay. That course of action A, correct, is where the county would pay $565,000, right? Course of action B is where we put some of that burden on the individual employee, right? Where the county would pay less, at was it $9,000?
Yes.
But that would increase the overall copay and the premium up to $2,000, correct?
Copay increased $5, deductible would increase $500, and the out-of-pocket max for the employees would increase $500.
Right, so there's 2 courses of actions we're looking at, A and B.
And one of the courses of action involved the employees actually participating in paying some of the cost of the insurance itself. And we were trying to keep this payment exclusively to, this is still what the county pays for the whole policy. And it was, I think that was the difference between.
Yes, we did not present any options where the employees would pick up like the actual premiums.
Yeah.
All that was presented was for the county to pick up both. It's just the matter of option 1, which is keeping our deductibles the same, our copays, and out-of-pocket max the same. The other option is still Kerr County paying 100%, but increasing it on the employees. Their payments if they were to go to the doctor.
And that reduces the increase in the premium the county pays.
About $200,000.
About $200,000. That's the difference we're talking about.
It does. Yeah.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, how many claims do we actually, do we have an idea how many people actually, not the doctor visits, I mean, that's a $5 incremental charge, but major claims?
I didn't bring the full printout,
I
but
probably should have asked you that during the workshop, I'm sorry.
I think we did.
Here.
Yeah.
um,
We had more claims than made ours go up.
We
last
definitely,
year.
because
had
we are
two
part of the
claims.
pool, if we were to go and bid for our insurance, we'd be paying much higher because we are a liability, because we are actually spending more. Our employees' claims are more than what we're putting into the pool.
A number I remember, and I could be wrong, Hilda, help me on this one. We're like 125%.
Correct. So in amounts, like in April, we contributed, our payments were about $329,000. But what was actually paid from Blue Cross Blue Shield or the TAC pool was $508,000. So they are definitely using it.
But as we talked in the workshop, that could go up or down depending
Yes,
on the year.
and we're not feeling the full impact of these claims because we are part of the pool, where other counties are other counties' premiums are also increasing, or being offset, is how it's helping us.
I understand that, and that's why we talked about it in the workshop. I would want to advertise that we're getting a little bit better deal with some of the other 254 counties.
Right.
Any other discussion?
So is the motion that we're looking at on the option one, is that what we're fixing to vote on, or is it on retaining it the way that we currently have it?
No, it's on the new option.
increase.
The increase.
Well, there's three options, so it's which
Well,
option?
the motion is for 3 items. Increase copay from $30 to $35. Increase total copay from $1,500 to $2,000 max. And then the
retirees.
last part was for the retirees to pay the same as the active employees on the policy. Right now, they pay a little less. And that was the option, and that was the 3 points of the option that I made the motion on.
That's option one.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Those opposed, raise your hand. 4-1 vote. Tough decisions.
It is,
Thank you.
especially without having the total budget in front of us. The timing's bad, but.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can adjust next year.
Well, that was a tack imposed.
Right.
Yeah.
Item 1.18, consider discuss take appropriate action to designate a committee to rank submittals of proposals to response to the request for qualifications for brokerage services for the sale of properties owned by Kerr County. Holt and Jones.
Yeah, it's got both of us on there.
Well,
We just
we
need a
only
broker.
had one.
We have had one submission so far, but we've still got a little bit of time.
Right.
And so back when we first started talking about selling some of the properties, there was a committee created, but it wasn't to evaluate the submissions. And so if we get more than one, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and designate the committee that you had before, which would be Commissioners Holt and Jones, Bob Reeves, and myself, to evaluate the submissions and make recommendations to the court.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the, to designate the committee to rank the submittals or proposed for the RFQs to sell the Kerr County's property as presented. All those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. 1.19, consider, discuss, take appropriate action to surplus 1 chair from the county attorney's office.
I move for approval.
Second.
Yeah.
Surplus.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Those in favor,
I
raise
just
your
want to
hand.
know who actually wore it out. No, never mind.
That would be Nick Krupa.
You don't want to take it up with him.
Good call.
All those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you. Item 120, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve a request for disbursement of salaries and routine office expenses and rescind court order number 38506. Ms. Shelton.
Yes, we're asking that you add the pass-through grants with other governmental agencies to the policy as it exists today. We've got 2 grants now that we're that have sub-recipients, and so it's with the city is one of them for the ambulance services, and the other one is with UGRA. And so we're asking that we be able to, as those funds come in, the treasurer and I can go ahead and send those monies out.
Wow.
This is the same way we do for the Center Point wastewater project.
Why would we not want to take advantage of every opportunity we have? I mean, this is gonna reduce, well,
So these are reimbursement grants. It's not like we're using Kerr County money up front for them to make the expenses. They spend the money, the report gets sent in, and then once the state of Texas approves the payment, it comes directly to Kerr County.
I move for approval.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the rescission of Order 38506 and disperse the salaries and routine office expenses as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. 1.21, consider, discuss, take appropriate action regarding the jail, commissary, and inmate trust audit report.
Yes, the auditor's office conducted an audit of the jail commissary and inmate trust accounts for the year ending September 30th, 2025, and issued reports to the sheriff and the Texas Commission on Jail Standards dated 5/29/26. Based on testing procedures performed, expenditures and revenues are supported by adequate documentation, and purchases were made in accordance to the requirements of Local Government Code Section 351.0415. Upon Commissioners Court acceptance, the reports will be sent to the Texas Commission on Jail Standards.
And this is time sensitive.
I make a motion, do we accept the audit report as presented?
Yes, we're asking you to accept the audit report so we can send it on. And it is a requirement that the auditor's office bring it to y'all within 10 days of the completion of the audit.
Okay.
And this is standard. We do this every year.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Item 1.22, consider, discuss, consider and discuss update on matters related to the Hill Country Energy Sub-Regional Planning Commission.
Okay, just for the public, our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, July 7th, 1 p.m. in the Kendall County Courthouse. Other information, our legislative subcommittee will be meeting hopefully tomorrow to determine which bills we're going to work on in our effort to better establish regulations and give more authority to local governments regarding the location of hazardous facilities or those that would place an undue burden on critical resources such as groundwater. So a lot of work to be done there. We have submitted comments and requested a public hearing with Public Utilities Commission of Texas in regard to their proposed rules applicable to they call it EESF, but it's BESS, Battery Energy Storage Systems, or electrical. Under 16 TAC 2558, we just found out yesterday the public hearing will be in PUCT's Austin office on July 25th, starting at 9:30 a.m. We've already submitted formal comments in addition to the request for the public hearing, but we'll have a team that goes up. Unfortunately, they allow us only 3 minutes per person to speak. It's a long way to go for 3 minutes, but we'll do that, and as we've addressed this in the past, we get multiple people to go through the whole statement. So anyway.
Can you donate your time and make somebody a little bit longer?
We haven't tried that yet. Fortunately, we've had enough people to go that we get it covered.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's that. We also commented on the state fire marshal's draft rules related to House Bill 3824 and Chapter 187 of the Utilities Code. And I'll give you an example of some of the stuff that this subcommittee is coming up with, which I think is outstanding. So one of the points, just one of them, that we raised was we brought to the attention of the State Fire Marshal's Office that the 2024 Emergency Response Guidebook and Review Guide 147, they've got an orange section entitled Lithium-Ion and Sodium-Ion Batteries. Well, that section requires evacuation, including emergency responders, for 500 meters in all directions. Makes it kind of tough to fight a fire if you have to be 500 meters back, doesn't it? Kind of crazy stuff. And also that they require hazmat teams. Again, because of the toxicity of the hydrogen fluoride that's in the smoke that comes from any kind of a lithium battery fire, you're required to have a hazmat team. And unfortunately, they're typically a couple hours away. So anyway, we have brought it to their attention, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that. And then we've already had a little bit of discussion, but obviously S. Volta, who is the developer of the East-West BESS in Mountain Home, which is right off I-10 And Ranch Road 479 has held meetings with most of the members of the court. I have declined to meet with them and instead asked them to come to the Commissioners Court or to our next Sub-Regional Planning Commission to discuss their project in a public forum. I'm not interested in having individual one-on-one comments. My answer is no, don't want you. If you're gonna come, you're gonna have to comply to everything possible. But anyway, so they just heard my views. At the request of, I believe, the Kerr EDC, Kerry Short organized a meeting with key Mountain Home landowners and community leaders, including members of the fire department, Mountain Home Fire Department, with Esvolta. And she's here today to share her observations and concerns from that meeting. So, Short.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Carrie Short. I live at 4524 Junction Highway in West Kerr County. I'm here today to report on last week's meeting with Esvolta representatives and volunteers. It was a small group, just Mountain Home Fire Department supporters. This is regarding the storage facility that's being planned at FM 479 and I-10. I want to be clear, I am not speaking today as a member of the Mountain Home Fire Department. I'm here as a volunteer's wife and as a resident. I can say with confidence, though, that most all of Mountain Home residents are overwhelmingly opposed to this project. First, I want to thank you, Judge and Commissioners, for your dedication to safeguarding our county. We also deeply appreciate the Hill Country Sub-Regional Planning Commission for your tireless work balancing growth with public safety, specifically regarding the battery storage systems. We know this project is part of a massive statewide energy expansion that often leaves local communities with very few options. The purpose of last week's meeting was for Esvolta to outline how they would support our community and to learn what our volunteer fire department needs to handle a thermal runaway fire. Unfortunately, the specific plans, including chemicals emitted in the case of fire or thermal runaway or explosion, were not available by the corporate representatives at the time of the meeting. They indicated specifics will be submitted with the proposed plans by year end. The firefighters and residents in attendance made their opposition clear. This facility is proposed just 1 to 2 miles from more than 300 homes. It sits along a stretch of I-10 that sees 22 to 25,000 vehicles every single day. We raised critical safety concerns, security, lack of on-site monitoring, emergency notification flaws, water usage, and toxic emissions. At this time, the company has no plans for on-site personnel. Rather, the site will be monitored electronically. When asked about water, Esvolta stated they would not drill wells and that normal operations require little water. Required water would be delivered, however. They had no immediate answers regarding how toxic contaminated runoff from a fire would be stopped from seeping into our groundwater. At this time, the company could not provide blueprints, evacuation recommendations, or suppression plans from their previous projects. However, they asked our 25-person volunteer department to provide them with a wish list. Again, not speaking on behalf of the fire department, common sense dictates that responsible risk management of a potential industrial energy hazard requires 24/7 industrial trained, fully equipped professional fire departments. Is it reasonable to rely on local volunteers, probably most with bad backs and bad knees, to fight a chemical fire that could burn for days or even weeks? To reassure us, Esvolta claimed their technology is safer than the Moss Landing bus fire in California, which caught fire and forced a 3-mile evacuation zone. As a citizen, I am incredulous our state government strictly regulates ladders at children's summer camps, yet provides zero comprehensive regulation of industries with the potential to poison children with toxic chemical plumes. This proposed site is less than 8 miles from active summer camps. In other parts of Texas, these facilities are being placed right next to elementary schools and parks. While Texas is synonymous with energy, we are equally defined by our history and our heritage. West Kerr County provides an economic trifecta: tourism, ranching, and summer camping. While Esvolta offers tax remuneration, I must ask this court, what is the actual cost of a disaster in Kerr County? I think Mr. Whitson answered that. From the legendary YO Ranch to the headwaters of the Guadalupe River, West Kerr County is worth protecting. It is our responsibility to do so. We respectfully ask this court and our community to continue all efforts to stop this project, or at the very least, demand the most stringent safety regulations possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. And I guess I'll just point out that if we were to actually have a professional fire department capable of responding to this thing, my gosh, the cost would be probably a couple $1 million a year, and it would far exceed any kind of revenue that would be received in terms of, property taxes from this thing. So it's very crazy, but I'll use this opportunity because I know they watch these things. S. Volta, you're welcome to come to our Sub-Regional Planning Committee meeting that's scheduled for July 7th. Happy to have you. It's in Kendall County. Just reach out and let me know that you're willing to attend. Let's do it in public. Thank you.
The time.
It's 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Short.
That's all I've got.
Okay, well, moving on to the approval agenda, item 2.1 are budget amendments. Yes, you can.
Sorry, I didn't before, but I just wanted to point out that there are other counties that are issuing moratoriums on these types of data facilities, so you'll have a look at that, and I think I sent you one that Van Zandt County did, maybe a couple weeks ago. So it's worth.
Talking about on data centers?
Moratoriums.
There's,
Moratorium on data.
yeah, and they had a $100 million suit filed against them.
Yeah.
Right.
And at this stage, data centers are not part of the 391's remit, so not part of the agenda.
No, but they're comparably offensive.
Well, they are. And typically, a battery energy storage system is there in conjunction with any data center because they need battery backup, basically. So almost every data center will have a BESS facility. Yeah.
If you can find a way for us to pass a moratorium, I think you'll get a strong consensus up here.
Yeah. But again, if you can stop the battery energy storage system, the data center won't work.
Did they buy that land or they lease?
They bought it.
Yeah, the land is bought, 17 acres. You can see it on the appraisal district website.
Got to cut the head of the snake off, and that's in Washington, D.C.
Well. Okay.
I don't know if our shears are that long. Okay. Budget amendments, 2.1.
Yes, you have 5 budget amendments in front of you. One, I am certifying new revenue for the insurance proceeds, and one was for grant proceeds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the budget amendments as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. 2.2, pay bills.
Yes, invoices for today's consideration amount to $927,101.07.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to pay the bills as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. 2.3, late bills.
There are not any.
2.4, auditor reports.
Yes, you received via email the audit report for the Justice of the Peace Precinct 3. We're asking that you accept the report.
Move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the reports as presented, auditor report as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. 2.5, monthly reports.
Yes, for January through March 2026, Veteran Services Office Quarterly Report, Director Jennifer Sanchez. March 2026, Veteran Service Office, Director Jennifer Sanchez. April 2026, Veteran Service Office, Director Jennifer Sanchez. May 2026, Veteran Service Office, Director Jennifer Sanchez. Constables, Constable Tommy Rodriguez, Precinct 1, Constable Kyle Snyder, Precinct 2, Constable Paul Gonzalez, Precinct 3, Constable Brad Ryder, Precinct 4, Justice of the Peace, Judge Mitzi French, Precinct 1, Judge Kathy Mitchell, Precinct 3, Judge Bill Ragsdale, Precinct 4, Payroll Report, County Treasurer Tracy Sullivan, Environmental Health and Animal Control, Director Reagan Gibbons, County Clerk's Office, County Clerk Nadine Alford, District Clerk's Office, District Clerk Ugonay Bobbitt. I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the monthly reports as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye, or raise your hand. Unanimous. Item 2.6, court orders. I have reviewed the court orders from our May 26 Commissioners Court meeting, and 22 orders, number 41936 through 41958, appear to be in order to me, and I make a motion that they be approved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the court orders as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Information agenda, 3.1, status reports from department heads. Looks like they all left the room. 3.2, status reports from elected officials. Shake of heads. Moving
Couple in
on.
the room, though.
They never entered the room.
Yeah, they're here.
No, they're here.
Item 3.3, status reports from liaison commissioners. Anything to report?
Nothing to report.
I'll just report that right now we have tentatively scheduled an APO Advisory Council meeting for Tuesday, June 16th at 6 p.m. It'll be at the Youth Event Center. I'll get an agenda out hopefully later today. We are at a crossroads with the APO Advisory Council. You know, we've done a superb job with best management practices. It's just getting tougher and tougher to find good discussion topics and where do we go from here. So a large part of the next meeting will be to talk about that very issue. And maybe we get away from meeting quarterly and go to semi-annual. I don't know, but we'll see what the council wants to do.
Jill Shackelford was our consultant on that,
she
and we
was.
reached out to her to find out anything else we ought to be talking about.
I have not. I mean, she's copied on everything, and she hasn't responded that way, but I don't mind calling her.
Well, she's not getting paid.
Yeah.
That's what,
That was the issue.
But
you
she's-
said
she's
what I was
aware,
thinking.
Because there's been a fair bit of, in the emails about this issue already.
I have a personal relationship with Jill. I'll reach out to her.
Well, thank you.
I know she's not getting paid, but
That'd be great.
if we have something that, she thinks we ought to take a look at, then
Yeah, sure.
we may put her back on the payroll.
Well, as long as there's something productive, you just don't want to
Yeah.
meet for the sake of meeting. Our attendance keeps dropping on these things, so obviously people have lost some interest, and we're no longer, I don't get any resident
well,
complaints
you've
like I
got
did.
improvements. You've made improvements.
Yes, that's
So
what I'm saying.
that,
So
the issues aren't there.
maybe we need to do something different. I hate to invite
Well-
public complaints, but right now I'm not getting any.
If you're not broke, don't fix it.
If we need to
We'll find
inactivate
some
it for a while,
compliance.
that's something we can do. It's not a problem.
Anyway, just kind of making the court aware.
Okay. Any other liaison reports?
One historical note, we do have all the equipment for our new historical monument. It's very small. It's the Alamo Constitution that's going to go outside of this doorway out here. The maintenance department has everything.
Yeah.
We just got storms in the way. They had to clear out a lot of trees and stuff like that and haven't installed it yet. But it'll be a small plaque, small steel inserted in the ground that they're going to do on their own. So I invite you to look forward to that in the future. It's just not there. And I wanted to report that storms got in the way for that install, which we tried to coincide with Memorial Day, but it was more important to get that right and get the trees out of the way of the parking lot. So that's what we did. Thank you.
Okay. Any other liaison reports? Executive action? No agenda? And there being no further business before the court, we are adjourned.